All right, we're live. What's going on, everybody? You already know what it is. Nooner Nation podcast for Nooners, by Nooners. And as you can see, Jake's working again tonight. So luckily, we got one of the OG Nooners who's been on the show before, but we all know him. We love him. We have Greg from The Bar is Open with Beth and Greg. And I think you have... Sorry, it's escaping my mind. I've listened to a couple episodes of your
Baldy
new
the Big
show.
Guy.
The Baldy and the Big Guy, and you've got the Castro Files, right?
Yep. We've got a few different shows that we do. Those two are a little more kind of every couple weeks or so.
Yeah.
We'll throw something out from them. But yeah, absolutely.
Period.
Thanks for having me. It's awesome. I always love hanging out.
Yeah, for sure, man. We love having you on. I think, actually, our best viewed YouTube episode was called "Fuck It, We're Just Going Live." When we were,
I remember it. Yeah,
we were testing out. I was just testing out new equipment and stuff. I think me and you were both maybe testing out new stuff.
Yep.
And then we had a bunch of people on a Zoom call testing it out. And we're like, hey, let's just go live. And it was like 3.5 hours of us just getting wrecked on air and just talking shit.
Yep. Those are the best ones, man.
Those are. We need to do another one.
Spontaneous, right?
We need to do another one of those sometime. But I guess those are one that you can't plan it, right? You just got to do it.
You just do it. Yeah.
It doesn't happen naturally, like consensual sex.
I mean, I would hope. Yeah.
Yeah, I would hope that happens naturally. Like,
I mean,
that's why I said consensual.
the other option's like typically not natural. But,
yeah, that's not really.
But yeah. So what's going on, everybody? You already know. Top of the show. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Rate and review on iTunes. Leave a 5-star on Spotify. And if you're listening to it anywhere else but those places, like just rate whatever the rating is. We get some people that actually listen to it through the Podbean app, which I don't know, Greg, do you like?
I have 2 people that follow us on the Podbean app.
Yeah, I don't get I don't know.
I don't understand. Like Podbean is very much for like pushing content.
Hosting,
not necessarily,
right?
Yeah, hosting.
It's the website I use to host this on iTunes, Spotify, right? So, and there's a couple other weird ones on there that like they had me sign up for that like on a very blue moon, I get one on like
Samsung,
like it's some weird ass podcast app.
I subscribe to them all. I don't give a shit. We'll take.
I post it out everywhere it can go. We have apparently we have one listener in India.
Nice. I love going to that map, man.
Yeah.
People are like, Iceland. How the hell did you find this podcast in Iceland?
I'm assuming the dude in India is just subscribed to figure out how to steal my information. So
that's possible.
It's probably
they're
the same.
mining your face.
Yeah, he's probably the same guy, like calling me every other day to like try to sell me a warranty on my car or something. So
pretty much.
But yeah. So I don't know what's going on with everybody. Anything new?
Oh, just chilling, man. Ready for the weekend.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend. Big plans?
I'm just hanging out. We're going to have some... Lloyd's supposed to be here tonight at some point. He's coming in, so he'll be here for a day or so. And then we're just going to do some grilling. Got the new above-ground pool all set. Went from thinking about doing like what you had, Bill, back in the day, like the water trough.
It's unaffordable now, man.
Dude.
It really is. Like when we were selling our old house, so when I bought that stock tank pool was like the height of COVID, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't a popular thing yet. So I drove like an hour and a half to like the Tractor Supply company that had one. And I paid like $300 for it, for the stock tank, the 8-foot metal stock tank. And then I think the pump and filter I bought for it was like $100 off of Amazon. Never thought about it again after that. And then we were selling our house to move. A bunch of people looking at our house wanted the pool. Like, oh, it's a pool stay. And I was like, well, let me just see how much it would cost to replace it. Like, if it's a selling point, like, okay.
Yeah.
What I paid $300 for is now like $800, and yet like there's none to be found anywhere.
Because everybody did it.
And the pumps were like $250. So then I was like, oh yeah, well, and of course I'm selling my house. So I was like, oh, if you want it, and I got to go to the trouble to like drive to Chicago to get another one of these, like, yeah, if they want it, it's another $4,000. you know,
Fuck it.
And at that point, might as well get
an
a
above ground
full
pool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they're unaffordable at this point. I love that we
crazy.
have one, but I've seen your the deck you built around yours. It looks great.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Did you really do that in like a weekend? Because I felt like
No,
you
not
just
me. I hired somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. Like,
okay.
I can build things. They're not always straight or what you want, though. You know what I mean? Like, especially if it's going to be structurally sound and all that good stuff. Like,
Yes,
Yeah.
I was impressed as fuck because we have an above ground one, and so this weekend we will be changing the liner out of that big bastard,
Ooh.
and we need to completely redo the deck. And so I was looking at yours, and it's pretty much almost like what my sister and brother-in-law want. It like kind of like wraps around and
Mhm.
has a lot of room, but it gets so fucking hot that like it will burn your feet.
it's track stacks. It does that too. So you have to wear flip flops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's kind of something that we're thinking about, but
Yeah. Well,
it's so worth it, especially
Yeah.
here. It gets too fucking hot.
yeah, I'm sure, Greg, you probably don't even have to heat the pool.
No, it's already like 85 degrees.
Yeah.
And
See, I have
it's
to.
been hot for a few days, like real hot for a few days now in a row. It's jumped.
Yeah. See, I
Oh
have
my gosh.
to.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say we use a solar cover, and we have to be very careful when it gets crazy hot because that motherfucker will feel like a fucking bathtub.
Yeah.
And it's not refreshing. Yeah.
No,
No.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
This makes you feel worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where my pool's located, I found out like those blue solar covers don't do a lot. What I ended up doing
That's
is
what
just
she's talking about.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
one of those
what I
blue
ended up
bubble
doing
kinda
is
wrap.
getting just like real thick painter's plastic and making my own cover out of it because it's clear and the sunlight shines through it. Because it only gets sunlight from like 10 a.m. until like 1 p.m. And it also doesn't get to Texas temperatures here. So
Yeah.
I'll have that on, and then I have like a little like it's a tank heater essentially that I put in line with the filter and turn it on. And so there are days where it will get a little too hot, but yeah, we definitely.
What's the
I've got heat.
temperature up there that you're putting that thing at, though?
So if
We're
it's
trying
like,
to get it to.
I tried like, well, me and my wife and both my kids are kind of pussies about it. So, but if it's like, you also have to remember it's in Iowa here, it'll get like in the midsummer, it'll be 95 with 95 humidity, right? So I try to keep it around 85, like where it's not so brisk.
That's comfortable.
Yeah.
That's what I want to try.
Like
and
it's
keep it at.
refreshing, but there's times where like, oh, what's the pool? Like I won't heat it. Oh, what's the pool temperature? I was like, well, it's like 78. How bad can that be? And you get in it, and you're like,
Fucking cold.
oh God,
Yeah.
oh God,
I'll get used to it, and then you're like your lips
don't.
turn blue.
oh my nipples turn blue. You know, like
I'm a straight pussy when it comes to cold water. I can't
Same.
fucking do it. I can't.
yeah, I like it to be like a notch down from the ambient temperature to cool me off, but I don't want to be. Yeah, I don't want to like have to lower myself slowly into it. You know,
I fucking
pretty much-
hate these first world problems, dude.
I know, I know.
God.
The
Come-
water is too cold.
I know. Well, I was gonna say we were just talking about Greg building the deck
Way to
around
put
his
us
pool.
back into reality,
I
man.
know. I know.
No, what's the coldest you guys have gotten in your pools, though? 'Cause I try and go in that bitch as early as possible, even if it's just jumping in, jumping out.
In the pool, I did it at
the pool.
65 one time.
It's pretty chilly.
Yeah, it was like I did like an ice plunge. I just got in, got underwater, got out, and ran inside.
Yep.
Nope, I cannot do that.
Can't do it.
Now the coldest water I've ever
I
been
mean,
in was like I've done ice plunges that were, 35, 40 degrees.
Yeah, those stupid things where you're supposed to like, it's good for your body. Fuck that.
That's exactly how I feel about it. Fuck that.
Yeah, so I bought like one of those collapsible steam saunas, and I love that. Like I think it's dope as shit.
That's heat. Like those are great.
But it came
cold.
with a collapsible ice bath as well, and it's still in the box. I'm like, no, fuck that thing.
I filled up my tub one time and put a bunch of ice in it to do like a little quick video. I think I lasted like a minute. I was like, fuck this. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, I don't get it at all.
I couldn't even get in it. Like I couldn't. Nope, this is not gonna fucking happen. But about the sauna and the cold plunge, that's a fucking thing in like Finland.
Well,
They'll
no,
go jump-
like,
yeah.
going hot,
Well,
cold. Hot, cold is definitely a thing. I've been to
Yes.
plenty of saunas and like spa experiences where you progressively get colder and hotter and alternate to where at the
Yeah.
end you're going into like a super hot steam sauna and then getting into an ice bath. The ice, like, I didn't want to be a little bitch when I did it, so
See,
I
that's
did
the
it.
thing.
I did it,
Yeah.
and I don't regret doing it because I actually did feel pretty loosened up before my massage doing it. But it's not one of those things like if I get that ice bath out and fill it full of ice water, and I'm on my back deck and nobody's watching, like I'm gonna be a little bitch and just not do it.
Yeah, you're gonna be in there for like 16 seconds. You're
Yeah.
like, that was a waste of fucking time.
No, I'm
Now
not gonna
just
do that.
deal with
I'm
a
just gonna
whole
take the
bucket full of
water out
water.
and splash it on me enough and get my hair wet so like my wife thinks I did it. You know?
Like I was in there for 3 minutes. I was fucking
Yeah.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, cook up the elk meat. Let's go. You know.
I'll
real.
bite it raw.
Again, we were talking about first world problems. I was going to make a comment like, yeah, Greg didn't build that deck. He's at the point of his life where he has,
No,
I hire
have
it out.
people.
He has, I have,
Fuck yeah.
He has, I
got a
hire
wood
it out
guy.
money. I hire
I
it
got a
out
deck
money.
guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I want it done right, like my brother built his deck and he's like, why didn't you do it? I'm like, well, I have to work. I'm like, that thing would take me 3 months to do. They came here and did it in 4 days. And it was one old dude. This is like dude in his mid 60s, came out here, lugged every piece of wood in and out, and just knocked that bitch out too.
Wow.
It fits underneath the seal, and I mean it's perfect. He's like, this is how you can slide those boards back. Like you were saying, if you need to replace the light, you can move the boards back, all the thing. I was like, God damn, I would never have thought of that shit.
That's
And it would have
fucking
looked like
awesome.
shit too.
No,
you know, quite
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, whenever I build things like that, like I've just built a deck, and it actually turned out pretty well. But I get to a point where at the end of the day, I'm so tired. I'm just like, fuck it, it'll look good enough. Like,
Just mail it in.
it's
Yeah.
like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired.
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck it.
It's like, it's just for me. Nobody's gonna notice, and then as soon as somebody comes over, you're like, "Yep, that's where I fucked up."
Mm-hmm.
You start. That's me. I start pointing out all the shit I did wrong.
Right.
No,
of
my
just
mother-in-law
appreciating.
will come over and start pointing shit out, and then my wife will give me the look, and I'm like, well, fuck, like then you do it, Jesus Christ, like you know.
We saved $10,000.
Well,
Right.
so
Shit,
to be
right.
honest, that's the way we are in our basement right now, where I am. We're hanging our own drywall down here to finish it because I didn't want to do it because I know drywall fucking sucks, but every quote we got was like insane.
Like, yeah.
Oh, nuts! I won't even tell you the numbers. It's fucking nuts. And
You're like, it's drywall.
I think it's because we don't have a walkout basement, so they have to come down the stairs, and then at the bottom of the stairs you have to turn 90 degrees. And I will say, because I've carried about 30 sheets of drywall down here by myself. It fucking sucks, you know. So
Yeah, the labor, the just stack.
yeah, it's nuts. So that's what we're doing on my Memorial Day weekend is finishing all the drywall. So
Nice.
well, it might lead to a divorce.
Just have
Who
a cookout and some beers.
yeah, it might lead to a divorce. Who knows? But you know.
Get that flour, man. Just get that flour and just focus.
Yeah,
Just hotbox the basement, and eventually it'll get done.
yeah, if the kids
Let all
weren't
the
here, I might.
worries float away.
Actually, like if I did that, it'd end up being way more fucked up. Yeah.
No,
That's
that's
what
if you
mud-
do too much. You got to do just the right amount, and then you're like, oh shit, okay.
Here's the thing. I haven't like this is the first time I've done it in 12, 15 years. I don't know what the right amount is yet. So
You gotta get a pinch hitter, just a little
So
bitty
the-
baby thing.
I do the
Yeah.
one hitter. I do the one
Those little
hitter.
baseball bats.
Yep.
whatever
It
they used
looks
to
like
be.
a cigarette, and you just
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
They
Yeah,
call them,
that's-
I used to call it a baseball bat, right?
yeah. We
Something
just
like
call it
that
the
back
one
in the day.
hitter. You know, the
Yeah.
bat, or I call it like in high school. I had one. I call it the bat. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So just make sure you don't decide to hit that thing after you've had like 6-10 beers. 'Cause
Yeah, that's the problem.
generally when
That's
shit
the
gets
problem.
in, when you're like, oh, I'm gonna start making bad decisions now.
Yeah. When you get all
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
crossfados,
that's when your vision
Barbados,
starts to double.
Right.
double, triple,
nah.
quadruple.
Yeah. It's always a good time. man.
You're yeah,
You know-
like I'm grub hubbing like $80 worth of Taco Bell.
Yeah.
That.
yeah.
Dude, so I found, have you guys used GoPuff at all? Do you guys have GoPuff up
I
there?
haven't heard of that.
All right, so GoPuff will deliver you beer and cigarettes and snacks and cookies and all sorts of shit, right? And it's a big thing down here. I mean, you're in Austin, right? So we're right down the street.
Oh, I'm in
Are-
Lubbock.
Are you in Lubbock? Okay.
Technically down the street.
Yeah,
Sure.
kind of.
Down some street known as an interstate, but
Yeah, so down
Yeah.
here, so we start running out of beer, we're having a party or something like that. I'll just go puff it. But the problem is, it's literally like twice as expensive
Oh,
for
yeah.
a 12-pack of beer.
oh yeah,
But it's all about convenience.
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, yeah.
like DoorDashing yourself some. I think DoorDash probably does some shit like that.
they
too.
do. Like
I think they do beer now. I don't know if they do tobacco products though.
Nonetheless, like you're like, fuck, I've got 3 beers left. There's still like, it's like midnight.
yeah, the party's still rolling, right?
That's not
You
gonna
gotta
last.
re-up.
Like, let's chip in. So just
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Yeah, well, it's just you look at the price and then you see the party and how
You
much fun you're having,
rationalize.
and you just say, "It's tomorrow Greg's problem, right?"
Exactly. It's actually Beth's problem.
Yes,
So,
tomorrow
like,
best problem.
Is there
right?
money in the account? I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck it.
figure it out.
I just paid $80 for two cases of beer, whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
whatever, dude.
But hey, it's worth
true,
the
though.
fun,
About
right?
People
that.
pay like I need $5 to $10.
Yeah, everybody's
just going
chipping
around
in.
hitting them up. Yeah, like you just like a whole keg party.
Yeah, like does
High school.
does GoPuff have an option where I just pay cash when they get here? You know, because the way my banking account's set up, I have my savings and I have my checking, and you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I get it. Like, there's been plenty of times where we'll be doing house projects or just the kids aren't home, and we've been doing shit around the house, day drinking. Like, no, what sounds good? Chipotle, but we need to have it delivered. And instead of being
Yeah.
like $20, it's like $45 to have it delivered. And you're just like, fuck it, I want it that bad, you know. And then the
Nice.
next morning you wake up and you're just like, God damn, we spent $45 on goddamn Chipotle for the two of us, you know.
Have you seen the whole thread about like Chipotle, like people dropping Chipotle, like going through line? Because if you've been to Chipotle lately, like, well, I mean, it's probably been over like the past couple years where they're just like skimpy. You always have to ask for more shit, right? Like, put a little more rice on there, bitch. Put a little bit more chicken. You want double chicken? No, I don't want double chicken. Right? There's a whole bunch of comedians talking about this.
Yeah,
Shit.
I don't want
But
double
literally-
chicken. I just want normal chicken.
Just like I'm a human being, right? And people are going through, and if they see that the bowl, and they're not saying anything, they'll have them make the bowl or whatever. And if they skimp on it, they're like, "Nah, I'm good," and they just bail, right? So they just wasted all that food, right? So it's like online, people are like raging against Chipotle.
I mean,
at this
finally
point.
a
Rage Against
walkout.
Chipotle is the new
That's
band
a
name.
walkout I can get behind. Me personally, I'm far too nice and nervous of a person that I could never do that. Like the whole way back to work after doing that, I'd be like,
feel
there'd be
guilty.
like a cop car, like, oh God, they're coming after me over this like $11 Chipotle bowl.
Because
You know?
that's the problem. It's $11 for a fucking bowl.
Well, dude,
that they
have you been
skipped
to? I was saying this to a group chat earlier. Like, have you been to fucking McDonald's lately?
It's stupid.
It's
The price
dumb.
it's
is
$10. I'll pay an
fucking-
extra $1 to go to Chipotle and get real food. You know, or
Yeah.
close enough to real food.
Well, you can go to Chili's and get a burger for the same price, pretty much, and or have it delivered, and it's like an actual cheeseburger, right?
Yeah.
If you have, you know, it's like the same. And ours are like in the same parking lot, like McDonald's and Chili's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's like $12 better.
I don't know what the fuck these fast food places are thinking with their pricing. And it's just like the point of view was that you were fast and fucking cheap.
Cheap.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I know it's bad.
you take that away, go
The,
fuck yourself.
the price and quality of service. I know none of this is good for me. I just want it now. Like, give me that.
That's all it's about.
Yeah.
And there's something about like my wife in like McDonald's Diet Coke, right? Like on like a Saturday morning after we've done like a late show or something like that. She's like, I just want to crush like a large Diet Coke, and they are the best. I mean, I don't drink much Diet Coke. But
There's
they
something
do.
about McDonald's Sprite too. I've heard that. Like and
Yeah.
then like the way that they make their straws, they make them bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like so there's like all
Oh,
this
yeah, they got the
science
wide
behind their
straw,
fucking
just-
drinks and shit.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a thing.
It's a fucking thing
Yeah.
for sure.
My Southern nooners will know this. I don't drink mellow yellow ever, unless I'm in the
I
South.
haven't heard of that in forever.
It's Coke's answer to Mountain Dew, right?
Right.
Like it's the Mr. Pibb of Mountain Dew. Right. It
Right.
sucks. Like even if you don't like Dr. Pepper, you have to recognize that Mr. Pibb still sucks. Like if you
It
don't,
does.
if you don't like Mountain Dew,
Well-
like I don't like Mountain Dew, you still recognize Mellow Yellow sucks. But
It's
there's
grocery store brand soda.
but
basically.
whenever I'm back home in North Carolina and me and my friends like party too hard, as we're wont to do a lot whenever I'm home, Bojangles, I get the Cajun filet biscuit and a Mellow Yellow because that is the greatest hangover cure. I don't know what it is, but for some reason I get 2 Cajun filet biscuits in me and a large Mellow Yellow, and I'm good to go.
It's rocking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good to go.
It's like the Big Red thing here in Texas. I
I
don't
love
get.
Big Red. I love Big
See,
Red.
I've had it like twice, and I'm like, I just can't do it. It's
Well, it
just
tastes-
Cotton
too-
candy.
Yeah, it's too much.
Oh,
You
I
know what
haven't.
mean?
To be fair, I haven't had it probably in my adult life. Like, like as a kid, I loved it. I'm sure if I had it now, I'd take like 3 sips out of it and be like, "Yeah, I'm done." You know?
Yeah,
Right.
But
But people
people-
just need a shot of it. Can I get a shot of Big Red, please?
put a shot in it.
Yeah. Put a
make
shot
like a
in
mixed
it.
drink,
Ooh, what would
like
you put in
something
Big
like-
Red?
Ooh, even with all that sugar. in it,
Vodka,
if
you
wanna
put
do
vodka.
that.
Vodka and Big
Yeah,
Red. I might have
yeah,
to try
just-
that actually.
Just that's the only thing you would do.
If
I mean,
I-
then
if-
it becomes, but just a little bit of Big Red, maybe a little something.
Yeah,
extra,
just to
I don't know.
change the color a little bit. you know?
Right, right. Just
Kind of like you know that's how
Mountain.
That's how Mountain Dew what became a thing. It was actually created as a mixer for whiskey.
I remember hearing that.
Oh, like a sour mix almost.
Yeah, you're supposed to do like
Kinda-
2 parts
something-
two
whiskey
parts
sour.
whiskey, 2 parts Mountain Dew. And I'm sure the original Mountain Dew is nothing like Mountain Dew now, but
Yeah.
cuz I've tried it.
Yeah.
I've tried doing like 2 parts bourbon, 1 part
Just
Mountain
can't.
Dew,
Doesn't
and I'm
work.
like I just ruined whiskey. Like this is terrible.
My neighbor does Dr. Pepper and bourbon.
See,
and believe
that
it or not,
I will
it's
do.
good.
No,
it
see,
is good.
Dr. Pepper is about the only soda I'll drink anymore, and I'll about once or twice a month I'll get a can of it at work from the vending machine for lunch.
Yeah.
And
Just kind of something different, right?
because like I typically like literally I'm coffee, water, booze. That's it. You know.
Same. Right there,
So
bud.
so like lunch every once in a while I'm having like a turkey sandwich or something. Like no, it'd go great with this, like a Mountain Dew. Or not a Mountain Dew, sorry, a Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper, yeah.
And I'll get like a can of it, and about halfway through that can, I'm like, man, like this is so much sugar. I can't do this. And carbonation, like I'm just full, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna be right back. I scratched like a bug bite or something, and now I'm profusely bleeding. From
bleeding
the leg.
out. Well, if you don't come back, we'll call the ambulance. So,
Yeah. We'll do a welfare check on you.
I have your address. We'll make sure you're taken care of.
I was thinking I could one up you. All right. So a long time ago, a land far, far away. I had to go to jail for a night, and it was in Arizona, right? So you guys remember Tent Cities? Joe Arpaio, Sheriff Joe.
No,
Okay, so
man.
he was like this sheriff in Texas.
Well,
I'm sorry, in
it
Arizona.
that does sound familiar, but I can't recall why.
Okay, no worries. He was crazy as fuck, right? So he had tent cities, basically like overflow. Like if you had to go do a night in jail, whatever, for whatever reason,
Yeah.
you'd go stay in this tent city.
Yeah.
They also, it was like the pink, like we didn't, like if you're going for a night, you just wear your regular street clothes.
Yeah.
But if you go for the, like you're in there for a duration, you're going to be wearing pink pajama
Yeah.
kind of shit, right? And they'd have chain gangs on the sides of the highways doing all that, like legit, like
Yeah.
in jail stripes, right? Worst soda I ever had. It was the only thing they had to drink, and you could only bring change. You could bring $2.50 in change, right? Was RC Cola.
Yeah.
Oh, I love me some RC Cola though.
That is the worst shit on the planet. Right? And it was, I could get one candy because I wasn't about to eat the food there.
Goddamn, how long were you in this place? You're going to
One day.
commissary? Oh.
24 hours. But like one day it's not like going to work for 8 hours. It was 24 hours, right? And they give you a little sack lunch with this orange that looked like a pile of shit, some sort of sandwich that I was like, not touching. Basically, I went on like a little, I'm not going to eat for 24
Yeah,
hours.
hunger
Got a
strike.
can-
Greg
Yeah,
going on
I
a
think I got
hunger
like
strike.
a whatchamacallit. Remember that candy bar?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think I got one of those and an RC Cola in 24 hours, dude.
Hey.
And that was it. Oh my God. I'll never drink one of those again, ever for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I was like,
And
I'll
that,
also never go back to jail. So
yeah, and that's when Greg straightened his life out. You know,
fuck.
That RC Cola.
Those
that,
were the days, dude. I'm telling
that's
you.
the what is that? Scared Straight. Just
Yeah.
try the RC Cola.
For
well,
real, dude.
well, according to that old like '60s song, women must love RC Cola. You know, RC Cola and a cream pie.
Oh yeah. And the cream pie. It's all about the cream pie, though.
Yeah, the women love it.
Ruben said moon pie.
Moon pie. Damn it.
Y'all don't
You
see the
fucked up my
you fucking
joke, Ruben.
perverts.
You fucked up my joke. God damn it.
God damn it.
Well, the only time I've ever been in jail overnight was in a different country. So,
What country was that?
Mexico.
Not the one you want to be.
Oh no.
Yeah, Cancun. I've told the story before, but yeah, like I was just drinking in front of my resort when I was like 20. Like I went to Cancun with my
Because you can drink
family.
down there at 18, right?
Yeah. So I was there with my family. Like I was 20. Like my parents have been cool with me drinking since I was like in high school, as long as I just, didn't make trouble about it. So, but I was like, oh, like while I'm here, I'm about to turn 21. It's all inclusive. I'm going to try like every drink on the planet and figure out what I don't like,
What makes me throw up?
Yeah. So I ended up just getting hammered drunk with these two
It's
dudes,
for science.
with these two massive black boxers from the Bronx.
Cool.
You got two massive black dudes and like little you. You're like
Yeah.
an Oreo.
Oh, and I was 20,
Basically.
so I was probably the same height as I am now. I was like probably 6'1", like 135. I was racing motorcycles at the time. I was tiny, and all I know is like we started doing tequila shots and Hennessy, like tequila and Hennessy, like which,
Oh,
and
that
then
sounds horrible.
I don't remember anything else except waking up to a flashlight in my face, and I'm on a beach chair on the beach in front of our resort. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I thought it was just like some hotel person, I was like, just leave me here. I'm fine. Just leave me here. I'll wake up in the morning and be fine. Like I'm no stranger. At 20, I was no stranger to blacking out.
Sleeping
you know?
wherever. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whatever, But then they're like, no, come with us. And some guy grabs me, and like I open my eyes and I see that they're like police officers.
Federales or whatever.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit. The second you see that police badge, you sober the fuck up real quick. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, no, like, sorry, like, I just had too much to drink. This is my resort. Like, let's just go inside and talk to the manager. Like, no, you're coming with us. And they pull out they pull out the handcuffs. I'm like, no. Let's go inside
No, thank you, sir.
and talk to the manager. Well, they handcuffed me and took me to jail for the night. And
Shit.
I was up all night. Trust me. Yeah, you get arrested in another country. It doesn't matter how much you've had to drink. You get sober real fast.
Right.
The adrenaline pumps through you. All I can think of while I was in that cell was that kid in Taiwan or wherever got bamboo caned.
Oh, for the gum?
No,
That was Singapore.
That was Singapore.
That
It
was
wasn't gum,
Singapore.
by the way. It was not gum. I had to correct the softcore guys.
Okay.
That kid actually spray painted graffiti on about 30 cars in a
I
weekend.
remember that.
Yeah.
No, I remember that now. Yeah.
Oh hell no.
So-
And you don't do
Oh,
shit. You don't even
okay.
smoke there. You
No.
don't litter. You don't do
No,
anything.
you don't do
there.
shit.
Yeah.
So
that-
the whole time I'm in this jail cell, I'm like, am I gonna get bamboo caned? Like, and I'm like, teléfono, por
be
favor,
way
which
worse
is
than
like
that,
literally
probably.
like one of the 6 phrases I know in Spanish. Like teléfono, por favor, mi familia. I was like, do I, if they give me the phone, do I call the hotel or do I call the U.S. Embassy? Am I about to get bamboo caned here? I'm about to get caned with like a hardened tortilla. I don't know.
Just slapped. That's
Yeah,
where the
they just
tortilla
slap it.
challenge
Well,
came from.
if they said, hey, your punishment is she's going to slap you with a tortilla, I'd be like, I'm okay with that.
This seems oddly racist for yourself.
But anyways, they did not let me make a phone call. Around 8 a.m., my dad shows up at the prison or the jail that I was at.
The prison.
Prison. It was a prison
like
for
it.
me, okay? Do you know how hard it is for me to be alone in my thoughts for 8.5 hours? That's a prison, okay?
Yeah.
No, but like and he was like the look on. I've never seen a more pissed off look on his face. And I kind of like just shrugged my shoulders. And he's like, don't shrug your shoulders at me. And I'm like,
Like, what am I gonna do?
I was like, Dad, what the fuck? He's like, they told me what happened. I was like, what happened? And they're
Well,
like,
what did they say?
they told my dad that I got arrested for starting a bar fight in downtown Cancun. And I'm like,
about these other fucks, but not me.
I'm like, what? Like,
Like, I was asleep on the beach, bitch.
I was like, I was asleep on the beach, Dad. Like, do I look like somebody who's gonna get in a bar fight in downtown Cancun?
Breaking bottles.
I don't even know how to leave the resort. You know, like I'm just here for a good time. And then,
It's all inclusive there too. You would have had to go pay for your own drink somewhere.
yeah,
Fuck that.
exactly. I was like, why would I leave?
Yeah.
I'm 20. I got no money. Like, why would I leave this resort?
I got no pesos.
Yeah, I got no pesos. Well, I got like $9 in my wallet. Actually, I think I had. Here's where it comes into it. Where this is what sold my dad. As he's checking me out, he had to pay like $250 US dollars
Yep.
to get me out. They tried to sell him Polaroids of me in jail for $10 each. And then they're giving me.
Were they doing weird shit to you, dude?
No, I don't think so. I don't
Are
know.
you sure?
I blacked out at some point. I don't know.
They just know people just want that cloud of, oh,
Yeah.
I went to jail in Mexico. Look,
Yeah.
here's
Came on vacation, left on probation, baby. Let's go.
right.
But then they're like handing me my stuff back. Like they handed me my wallet, and I was like, "There's like $200 in here." Like, no, there wasn't.
Exactly.
And my dad was
His
like,
fucking-
there probably was, by the way. And then they're like, I was like, "Oh, I also had a cell phone." Like, "Oh, you didn't have a cell phone?" And I was like, "I'm 20. It's 2010." I was
Yeah,
like,
you had a cell
I had a cell
you had
phone.
an iPhone, probably. Yeah.
I didn't have an iPhone. I actually had the one. I had the Motorola. It was a flip phone, and the top part you can spin it around and close it, and it became a digital camera.
Was it no, it wasn't a razor. I
No,
know
it
which one
wasn't a
you're talking
razor. I can't even remember what it was
Yeah.
called. So then, and my dad realized like it was all a fucking scam.
about. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a fun night for sure. But
Good times, memories. See, or some memories,
Right.
a few.
and
You ever
then
been?
I swore I would never go back to Mexico until we had, well, not had to, but we went like for Christmas 2 years ago, me and my wife, and then going through customs, I was like, I was like, okay, you're good. I was like, oh, thank God.
They don't have record keeping.
No,
there
they didn't keep
down there.
records.
You know
Or
what
anything.
I
They
mean?
just took the cash.
Especially not for that long.
Yeah,
They took the cash. And when I got back to the resort, like the people that were working there, because we were there for 10 nights. And
Oh,
this
shit,
was
that was
this
good.
was like one of the latest. This was like on the 7th or 8th night. So I was kind of friends with the people that worked there. They're like, "Oh my God, we heard what happened." Like, they're like, "Do you still have your passport?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I didn't have it on me." They're like, "Oh, thank God!" Like, they were telling me the story. Like, some guy came in and went downtown in Cancun to a bar and got arrested. Kind of like the same thing. Like, he was just drunk at a bar, and they're just like looking for white people leaving the bar drunk, trying to get a cab. And they arrested him, and they stole his passport, and he ended up having to stay at the resort for like 2 more weeks
Till you get it.
till you get a new
Yeah.
passport. So
Fuck that.
I know.
I would have been like, sorry, can't go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Right.
fuck it.
I gotta kick it.
just
Sorry,
gonna
I
hang
gotta
out.
kick it here at the. Well, that. I was like, well, that's terrifying. Like, yeah, but like the State Department like paid the bill for it. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
So, fuck that. That's just. a
please
month
take
worth
my
of vacation.
passport. Take my passport, please.
As long as I'm not like hurt or
Yeah.
anything, something
Stabbed,
bad's happening.
dead.
Yeah.
The proverbial dead in a ditch.
Yeah.
All right.
Missing a kidney
So,
or some shit.
the question this week was, what annoys you most about adulting?
Okay.
Mine is waking up in the morning.
Well, you know,
I'm kidding, guys. God, laugh.
I will say,
No, I no, that's like legitimately like a big problem for me. Like I fucking hate mornings. Like I'm a night owl. So
was thinking-
No, I
I'm
just
right in-
meant waking
I'm right
up
on
at all.
Greg, I don't know if you heard last week's episode. We were just doing like just normal confessions. And of course, you know the Nooners. A lot of it was weird sex shit. The one that broke me and Charlie, though, was somebody said, occasionally when I'm home alone, I'll run up the stairs on all fours.
Like you're a little kid.
Like you're going to you're horsing
remember
it
that?
up the
Like,
stairs.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But-
why we laugh so fucking hard.
I laugh
That's
so
just
hard.
fun. I mean,
Uh,
honestly, that just sounds like fun.
Full
Right,
tra-
but like the fact that he only does it when he's alone.
Yeah, but that's the creep. That's kind of weird.
full
Doesn't
transparency.
want his wife or anyone else to see
Full
him.
transparency.
Dumb.
I did it this past week.
It was fun.
It's fun. It's fun.
Fuck yeah, yeah.
It's fun.
That's why kids love doing it. No, that makes total sense.
It was fun.
Uh,
What made it fun is nobody's around. I just did it. I didn't know I was still that limber either. And it's way faster. You know. All right.
Less stress on your knees.
Yeah.
All that.
just think of like the Exorcist girl coming down backwards.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The Ring Girl or the Exorcist Girl or some shit like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah.
So, first one, why does adulting suck? We can all deal with this. Paying taxes, I don't know, like paying taxes I get with, but the second part, Charlie can probably comment on this. Today's dating scene.
I mean, to be fair, dating's always sucked.
Mm.
It's always sucked. Now you just have more people
Yeah.
to treat you like shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
Dating's always sucked.
I bitch about taxes, but I'm also lazy. So, like, what am I supposed to do about it? You know?
Yeah, I have an accountant that tries to like get us all the stuff, right? And
Yeah, see?
sometimes that helps. Like they know the tax codes, and it costs me like $400.
Yeah.
So you're like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spend that amount of time, and I'm trying to figure it out.
For sure.
And then
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's
That's
just
where I'm
normal.
at. It's like it is what it is. I'll try to cheat the system. I'll
But
I'll
you
run
still
that
get fucked
border
in the end.
but I'll still
Yeah.
stay north of the border, you know.
Yeah.
But you still get fucked.
Yeah.
As far as dating, I've told my wife, I was like, thank God we met each other young, because I don't know. I'm not even that old. Like I'm 36. I don't even know how to date as a 36-year-old, let alone
I'm
a 30.
47, bro. I'm like,
I know. Like, what would you do?
like nothing.
Yeah.
I get a sex robot or some shit. Right? I mean, that's like what I'm looking forward to. Like I tell Beth, I'm like, but I did read an article.
I want to be left alone, and I just want to fuck something.
Just it doesn't matter, right? At a certain point, you're like, you don't need to be talked back to. I got that for the past 25 years before you died, Beth. Like, whatever, right? But the dating thing, I read this article that people are ditching like Tinder and all of those, and they're actually going back to like dating services where they match you, type of thing.
Yeah, I can see
So
that.
they're- like it's $100 a month or whatever it is.
Yeah.
and they're
My
actual matchmakers.
I have a family member who is older and back in the dating scene, and they, instead of trying to do apps, well, I guess it technically is an app, but it's like you go through like an approval process, and they match you, and it. Yeah, I think she says like
It's not just like swiping left and
yeah,
right.
you're
and
not just
fucking
like
all
you're
the
not just like
trash.
you're not just like a horny 28-year-old, just like
Right,
right,
yeah.
right, you know, and see what happens. Like, there's some thought put into it. So
Because you just look like a desperate dick trying to do that. Like,
yeah,
hitting
you look like a
everything,
fuck boy, you know.
right? And you're like, nobody wants to go through that bullshit.
Which is why, like, if you're somebody like my age or younger, especially as a female, on one of those dating apps, you're like, is this person really into me, or are they just trying to get laid?
That's the I would say they're just getting laid apps for the
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's Tinder for sure. I got on that for the first time in like 2018, and went and hung out with some guys like out in public, not at each other's houses or anything like that. Even though they tried.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did have this one guy come over, but he was like, yeah, I'm like 5'8". That motherfucker was my height. He was 5'4".
Hey,
Much
easy.
stranger.
Greg's on the show. Come on.
Hey, I'm good with it though. Whatever.
Hey,
Listen,
5'7",
short king.
fine, but he was not. He was lying about that.
Yeah.
And he was very skinny, and I was like, okay, you can come over, because if you try anything, I can literally throw you out the window.
Okay.
Like,
And you're
Nice.
I'm more muscle than you.
knowing
My
you, you'd be like,
self-defense will work
try
on this one."
something. Please try something so I can throw somebody out my window.
This one is rear naked choke you and then throw you out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But it was really weird. He was like snapping other girls, like taking pictures of himself. I was
Like while you
"What?"
were hanging out.
Yes.
See.
Yes. And I was like, what the fuck? And then he was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a nurse. And I was like, you shouldn't be. You're a complete jackass. Don't do
Yeah.
this.
So
Because he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll just get CNAs to wipe other people's asses," and I was like, "Mm-mm,
no.
nope,
So
nope."
yep.
So yeah, that was fun.
Good times.
Next one. I hated that as a kid I had to hide my weed smoking from my parents, but now as a parent I have to hide it from my kids.
Fucking legit, right?
I'm with you, man.
That'll change, I think, in like the next 10 or 20 years, because it'll be like smoking a joint will be like smoking a cigarette or something. You know what I mean? Because it's becoming more legalized. I think they just moved it from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 at the federal level, or they're doing it. I think it'll be more acceptable.
Yeah, like
as soon as Marlboro gets their hands on it and starts selling packs.
Oh yeah, I've talked about this on air. I knew a girl, and because I grew up in North Carolina, right, like tobacco state, where it all comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking. This was 2006, 2007. I was talking to her dad, who was fairly high up at Philip Morris, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like, Philip Morris already has 1,000 patents filed, 1,000 trademark names. Like the second it goes federally legalized, Philip Morris will be in the weed industry.
Yeah, for sure. It'll switch the tobacco crops over to marijuana crops.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
So
that's absolutely it.
we'll see.
It's true. It's a good one. I'd never thought of that.
Having to pretend to give a shit.
I'm at that cusp. Like right about now. Like I'm right on that fucking line.
Well, I've always been that way. Like I try to be cordial as much as possible, but eventually I'm just like, you know what? Like what you're saying is fucking dumb. Like I'm not going to listen to it anymore, and I just walk away, you know?
It's that in like a pretend, like the pretend patience thing where people just aren't paying it. It happened to me today. Okay, so my office, we have a coffee shop in there, and they were just like standing 20 feet away from, but it's like a line, and they're just sitting there shooting the shit. I'm like, are you in line? Like I'm starting to get like more snippy at the older I get, right? And I'm like,
Oh,
I
Greg
just don't
needs
have
his caffeine,
time to
damn
deal
it.
with shit, right? I'm like, I've got shit to do. Yeah, right. That'll start happening at a certain point. I promise you.
Oh yeah.
Just be like I give a shit. I just don't. And what are you gonna do? Fire me? I'm like, meh.
Well, yeah. Well, for one, like the times when I do that kind of thing, I feel like I'm fairly justified. I was like, I'm trying to do something. These people aren't paying attention. Like I'm forcing them to pay attention.
That's all it is.
Like move out of the way. It's annoying how shameful they make you feel for actually using your PTO.
Fuck them then.
Eh,
No, that's not how this shit works.
That depends on the company.
that does.
Like,
I've
sometimes
worked,
you need a or your boss. Or
I've
something
worked
like
for a
that.
company. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna take this Friday off, and they're like, well, why? I'm like, because I can. And then
that kind
that,
of goes back to what we were just talking about of like, well, it's none of your fucking business.
right? Like, do I really have to explain to you why I want to do something with the time off you give me?
Yeah, it depends on the company in a little bit. Like if you're a call center, like we have a call center, like a huge one, like in your seniority, there's some things like that, but you go in there knowing that, like you're brand new. But if it's like you've been there for 10 years,
Yeah.
Go do whatever the
especially like
fuck
if
you
you're
want.
salary or something. Like,
yeah, like it doesn't matter.
No,
Yeah,
like
fuck
when
that.
I get it, like when I worked at Lowe's in college, like I can't
They're
just
scheduled.
like like I'm scheduled out, like it's a thing, right? But yeah, I get it. Like it sometimes, like I
real.
ask for PT. Luckily, my company now, or like at least my direct boss, he's like, yeah, whatever, cool. Like,
Yeah, that's how it should be. Like you got PTO, you earned it, or whatever.
You wanna take a
only have
Friday
so
off?
much
I don't
or
give a
whatever.
fuck.
Take the fucking.
you want to take a Friday off to just watch 8 hours of Pornhub? None of my business.
Fuck yeah, let's get your work done.
Being accountable for your actions. In parentheses, fucking child support.
Oh God.
Come on, bro. I presume. I don't know. Or chick. I don't know, dude. Could be anybody at that point.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, sorry. You're old enough to nut in somebody, like you should know the consequences.
There could be but the flip side to that could be this, and I don't have kids, so judge me all you want. I could be talking out my ass. I watched something like Instagram, and there's this black judge that does like this like thing or whatever.
seen-
You've seen that? I don't know her name. I just come across the things, and this chick's making like 300 grand a year and he's making like 50, and she's bringing him back to court for more, and then he's got the kids like 80% of the time. Like, get fucked on that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and she
That
was
kind of a
like,
situation.
No, you'll be paying him $1,500.
Right. And that's like,
He's like,
exactly.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a broken system that we can get into on another episode.
Yeah, but there's I could feel you in that
Yeah.
situation for sure.
Dealing with my in-laws and their constant bullshit.
Get used to it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's life.
Having to skim through some bitch's story about her journey through Tuscany just to get the fucking pasta recipe. I've been there. Trust me. I'll be like, I just want a recipe for this thing. And it's like, oh, when I was 25, I did a year abroad in Tuscany. And I was like, let's
that's
go.
why I'm so
I want the
glad they
recipe,
had-
bitch. I don't need your life
They
story.
implemented the jump to the recipe button. And I'm
Yeah,
like, yes,
they definitely do.
thank you.
Those are like the food vloggers and shit. Like, what
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah, they're food vloggers.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is, right? Yeah. I'm like, nah.
Like, I don't need to hear about your tryst in Tuscany with
Let's go
some
to Bobby
25-year-old.
Flay's
Like,
page. I'm sure I can
like-
find something.
I'm just trying to figure out like what I have in my pantry that I can make now. Like, let's
Mac
go.
and cheese and tuna or something. Just
Yeah.
throw it up. That's as Italian as it needs to be some nights.
Mac and cheese and taco meat, bro. Is where it's
Or
at.
that too. I mean, yeah, you throw whatever you've got
Mm-hmm.
handy. Taco meat. I don't think I've ever done that.
Mac and cheese and taco meat. Dope.
Oh,
That's
Elijah coming in clutch. Judge Vonda B is what. Who
Ah,
Vonda
yeah.
B.
Thanks, Elijah. Yep. Yeah.
Being judged by other moms anytime I do anything the slightest bit sexy or wild.
Jealous. That's what that is.
I
Do
was
it
gonna
even
say.
harder.
Yeah,
Go
I mean,
steal their husband.
yeah.
Well, maybe not that.
Obviously, we don't have
Fucking
anybody on
homewrecker.
this panel that can relate to that, but I can say, like, my wife's been there. You know, we all know, like, the swimwear my wife likes to wear, so, and she gets judged hard on that. I'm like, you know what? Fuck them. Like, what?
But you know what? Go ahead, sorry.
They're just pissed.
Charlie.
They're just pissed because, and to be fair, I told her it's like she only wears that pretty much in private or if we're like at an all-inclusive kind of place.
Yeah, you're down in Mexico. Or
Yeah,
something.
but it's like they're jealous because they all know their husbands want them to wear that.
Well, you know what I was gonna say is I thought like the whole thing, and like, you know, of course, being a mother is extremely hard. Like, I'm not putting anything on that, you know, not saying that, but then also it's just like because of that, you want to maintain a little bit of yourself. You don't want to just completely lose who you are
Right.
in the midst
point,
of that.
yeah.
Because to be completely honest, those kids are only there for 18 years, and when you get older, that's actually not that fucking long of a
Right.
time.
Oh
And
yeah,
then what are you gonna do when they become teenagers? Just
yeah. I've
be
read a
up
lot
their
of things
asses?
about
yeah,
like
live your own life. and
I've
be
read a
your own-
lot of stuff about like parents once they become parents, they try to like be very rigid about like
It's
the kind
the
of
weed
parents
thing.
they are. And the weed thing, or like again, what we're talking about is like thong bikinis. Like who fucking cares, right? But they don't wear
Yeah.
that. And what happens is all you do at that point is become parents. You don't become a married couple. You're co-parenting. And then once the kids leave, you're like, oh, well, what the fuck do we do now?
You get a dog that looks exactly like you, and you all end up with the same fucking haircuts.
Yeah, pretty
That's what
much.
ends up happening.
Pretty much.
Right?
And you're like,
I
well,
mean-
now we're just like, all we know how to do is be boring ass parents because all
Right.
we did was be parents instead of
So-
like prioritizing. I'm not saying you should
Agreed.
prioritize your kids. You should.
I mean,
yeah, but your marriage comes first. Your marriage comes first before
Your
the
you
marriage-
gotta
like, it
feed
should-
the kid. You have to feed the kid still.
It's and
Like
it's
water
something
once in a
honestly, and
while.
it's something that like me and my wife have. I won't say struggle with, but we have a lot of conversations about it. About it's not that the kids come first because in reality, like if you had kids, like the kids will always like their needs will
It's
come
built
first.
in,
It's
yeah.
built in, but you can't forget about what created the
two.
kids, right? Like you
Yeah.
two, right? Like they are a part of your life, a very, very big part of your life, but they're not your entire life. Like you need to go on
Have
date
some
nights.
fun on
and-
your own. Yeah.
So
The other thing I was going to say is, and Charlie, I don't know if you agree with this, it's confidence, right? It's just like having confidence to be able to like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'll do what I want.
mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit what you want to do or what you
And-
expect of me. And they have no bearing on your fucking life. They can judge all they want. Fuck them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's also, and it's perfectly fine to be more conservative in how you dress, and if that's how you're comfortable, that's
Yeah,
fine.
do what you're comfortable with.
Nothing
I'm
wrong
not
with that.
sitting
Right.
here like, well, I will say like, hey, if you want to wear a thong bikini, go for it. You know,
And and
it's
I will
the
say, like, there's a
swimsuit God
line-
made for America. But if you're not comfortable with it, then don't wear it. But
Right.
you
But
know,
like, don't have your ass hanging out at like a children's softball game.
No.
Don't shame. Yeah,
No.
maybe
You
there's
know,
certain,
maybe-
there's
no,
maybe
there's
don't
definitely that's not
that.
a confidence. That's decorum. Like dress for where you are,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so like there's that too, but at the same time it's like just because you're not comfortable doing that or you would never do that doesn't mean like
Mhm.
that has to go for everyone else. Like,
Yeah.
just,
Like if you're in South Beach, Miami,
Oh,
that's a normal thing. You know what I mean?
and
If you're
yeah,
in Hampton, New
people, like-
Hampshire at the beach, dudes up there. So I grew up in Hampton, New Hampshire. All the Canadians come down.
yeah.
Them dudes that come down from Canada, like Quebec, they're wearing like fucking like banana hammocks
Yeah.
and shit.
So
down there.
essentially, what you're
Yeah.
saying, Greg, in high school, you
Fucking
had
weird.
and Greg in high school had a thong tan line, is what he's saying.
I did.
Nice.
I used to skateboard in one. It was great. You know,
Well, I mean, it
was,
definitely-
wasn't that weird. Like all these weirdos taking pictures.
I mean,
don't
it
know.
definitely like it's a lot.
15,
You get a
yeah.
lot more mobility on your skateboard. You know.
It's true. Yeah.
just feeling the breeze through your thighs.
Oh, it
Dude,
cools you
that's
off.
Next level. You don't even know what you're missing.
Yeah, there you
I-
go. All right, next one. Taxes for existing. Yeah, I get it. Taxes suck. We've
Everything's
covered
taxed.
that.
Can't do that.
Bills, hoes, and bitches. Yep. Back to that one.
What?
Bills, hoes,
hoes,
and,
and-
bitches. I feel like bitches and hoes kind of go hand in hand unless this person has
Are
a,
they?
But how is that an annoying adult thing?
unless I mean obviously bills pretty explanatory. Hoes, do you have an issue with prostitutes?
Side hoe?
Yeah, do you like are you
Like you've got a bitch, but this is your side. I don't know
You
the
guys
answer.
call
I
it,
mean,
like,
that's
a
a-
marketing tool.
I mean,
I think
I
that's
guess-
that's a self.
that's a
That's
self-made
an issue you
problem,
have to
man.
work on. Yeah.
You know. Worrying about the future. When you're young and carefree, you plan for the immediate future with no concern of consequences.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
That one hits hard,
We're starting
actually.
to think about like retirement and shit like that. Like we have
Yeah.
enough money.
Yeah.
Can we do this? Can we do this? Like, do you still have the life? That's like a little bit later. So I presume this might be somebody that's slightly younger. That's something to think about. But then again, I try and like, if you constantly live like that far out in the
Mhm.
future, you're never
Yeah.
gonna pay attention to like what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And that's like a lot of my work is like, oh, this is gonna launch in 24 months, and I'm like always thinking about 24. I'm never thinking about the shit's going on right now. You know.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
I have to butt in the Bills, hoes, and I thought that was like you, Bill, like Bills, hoes, and bitches. I'm
That
like,
might be. I don't know.
I'm like, why is that annoying?
why is Bill so annoying?
Yeah. Well, no, not me.
Or is
Why?
it Bill's?
Why are my
they annoying?
hoes and bitches so annoying?
Or is it like Bill's hose?
Yeah.
Like Bills, that's what I thought. Like Bills, hoes.
Bills as a possession. Bills, hoes, and bitches. I'm sorry that my stable annoys you. Like, sorry. You know?
So that the chat helped clear that up for me because I was like,
Okay, good.
what?
They see the quizzical look on your face. You're like, no, it wasn't that way.
I think some of them kind of felt the same of like
Yeah.
this Bill,
It
like
was
our Bill.
it was bills, comma, hoes, comma, and bitches.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
it.
Good call out.
But this last one, yeah, I get it. I'm starting to get to that age where I'm really trying not to go so far in the future that I'm not having fun in my present, but I
Yeah.
feel it coming and I hate it.
You got to be careful about it.
Yeah.
You have to be mindful because all of a sudden your kids are going to be like you're saying. They're going to be 18. They're going to be out going to college, and you're going to be like, "Holy fuck, how did that happen?"
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been in my company for
Yeah.
22 years, and I'm like, "How the fuck did that happen?"
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's just weird, you know. So yeah, you gotta be present. Kind of weird situation.
Yeah, and I've heard it growing up, but now I'm like, they were fucking telling the truth of like adults telling you like, time goes by a lot faster when you
It
get
speeds
older.
up. Mhm.
And it's just like, oh yeah, whatever. Now I'm like, oh my god, like, especially ever since 2020, and I was like, oh, it's just like all the weird
Oh.
bullshit. But it's just
Yeah.
like, oh no, this year's
The-
it's already fucking halfway over, pretty
the
much.
end-
Like,
Fucking, we've been saying that. Yeah.
The end of 2019 up until like mid 2022,
shit
it's
ain't
like
the same.
it's erased from my mind. Like those are years that I lost somehow.
Yeah,
And I'm like, well,
it's-
fuck. How do I get those back?
It's a mind fuck for sure.
I just don't like. I
'Cause-
get. I need to be responsible for the future, but I don't want to be so concerned about it that I
Don't
don't
dwell
have
on it.
that I don't want that I lose out on fun opportunities in the present. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
Go on vacation, save your 401k, do that
Mhm.
8% or 5% match your company does, put some money
Right.
away, but go on your vacations, do your shit, spend money, go buy shit that you don't need, all of those things. And I know it's tight. I know the economy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But you have to do that. Otherwise, you're just going to be fucking sitting at home the whole time
Yeah.
and not doing shit,
Yeah.
not having fun,
Yeah.
not
And-
fucking doing anything.
And my
It's-
problem
it's
is, and I've said
literally-
this, I realized this the second I turned 26, I realized I will be 25 forever.
Yeah. I'm perpetually about that age,
Yeah.
which I don't give a fuck. I'm like,
Mhm.
anybody can judge me. I don't give a shit.
Nobody
Yeah,
judges
it's like
you.
your body's the only thing that's getting older, but that doesn't mean you feel.
I don't know. Greg looks
mentally
pretty good
different.
for being 58 or whatever he is.
See? Getting a little more gray hair.
Got
on
those
me.
tree trunks.
Fuck it.
Gray hair. You have no hair.
There's some there. Fuck you.
Look at this
It's on
shit.
there.
Look at all this. If I took my hat off, I'd look like fucking Patrick Dempsey right now. I'm just all gray.
Fuck you.
It's called Silver Fox, guys.
My
we
wife-
don't have that for women.
I
We
will
just get
say,
fucking-
my wife is into having the salt and pepper look. She said,
Yeah.
yeah, she likes it.
On you
On
or
me. On
she
well,
likes it on- okay.
I mean, she probably likes it on other guys. I guess it just
Well, I
works
didn't
on
know
me.
if she was going like salt and pepper or something. You know, some
No,
ladies
she's
like that
Brazilian,
shit,
so
too.
she's
That's
never
what I'm
gotten
saying,
a
she's got
gray.
that brunette,
Actually,
yeah.
she got she found one gray hair in her
Oh,
head
fucking
like
freaked out.
6 months, and she freaked out.
Beth
and I was
did
like,
the same.
like, oh my god, chill
I'm
out.
getting gray eyebrows. That's weird for me.
Mine are white. So
I don't know. Like my asshole hair turns gray. I don't know what to think about that.
but you can just wax that. It's fine.
Yeah, sure. All right, next one. Having the expectation of being a responsible adult 24/7.
No, don't do that. That's just bad for your health.
Yeah, no.
that.
Don't you have to live you don't have to live up to other. That's one thing I've learned. Granted, again, I'm still fairly young, but I'm also fairly into adulthood as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't give a fuck. Like I mean,
Nobody pays your bills.
Yeah.
If you're still at home, living at your mom and dad's house or something like that, that might be a little bit different, right? But once you get on your own, you're paying your own bills and you're making your own way.
Yeah.
Dude, you do you. As long
Yeah.
as you're fucking being healthy and you're
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
whatever, doing good shit.
Yeah.
Have fun.
If I want, like, if me and my wife want to go, like, the kids are out, we want to go fucking binge like we're teenagers for a weekend.
Yeah, fuck it.
Go, let's go. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Right?
If somebody wants to
Right.
judge us for being drunk at a bar in our 30s, like, fuck them.
That's what Uber's for nowadays.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
fuck.
Seriously. I mean, as long as you're not breaking shit or trying to get into fights.
Right. You're not starting bar fights in fucking Cancun, Bill.
I know. I know. Oh, the healthcare system.
Just throw
Ugh.
that whole thing away.
Yeah, we can just
Yeah,
skip
don't-
right past that
yeah,
one
right.
because I can tirade about that one.
Yeah.
This kind of goes into the other one we just read. Spending your youthful adult life working and stressing only to, in caps, one day be able to relax when you're too old to have fun.
Goes back to what I just talked about,
Yeah.
though, right?
Have fun when you're young. Just be responsible about it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can have as much fun as you want. You can do whatever.
And that's to be
You know-
like crazy or grandiose to have it, maybe just go an hour away and just get the fuck away, go out, go to a restaurant, get some drinks.
Oh, we
Real.
do staycations all the time. Like the kids are at the in-laws, and we treat it like a vacation. Like we get especially the summer.
100%.
We do the summer. Like you've got a pool, Greg. Like we'll be by the pool. We'll load up the Yeti cooler by the pool.
That's what we do. We just
With
did it for
drinks?
the first time this past weekend.
Yep.
We just fucking
And we
got
just-
a bunch of people over. This weekend's going to be the same.
Yep. So
But the other thing that I was going to say, kind of the add on, this is kind of an interesting kind of theme kind of coming through here, is Do not wait for some magical day in the future
Yeah.
that
No.
may never fucking happen. You
Yeah.
could get hit by a bus tomorrow. You could get hit by
Exactly.
weird shit happens to us that if you and your significant other or you and whatever, it's just you want to go on a fucking trip, plan for it, go on the trip. Don't be like, it's my 10-year plan.
Yeah.
And
No.
I'm gonna
just
go to
Yeah.
California, or I'm gonna go to fucking Italy, or I'm gonna go. Like,
Let's go.
save it, make it a plan. It's something attainable, like
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know. Like,
Yeah.
Beth and I talk about this shit. We're like, okay, we want to do these things, and it's like, who we leave our money to, and who do? I'm like, I kind of want to go out. We don't have kids, right? We'll leave
Well-
some to the nieces and nephews.
Well, Greg, you can adopt me and leave all your money to me.
But you know what I mean? It's like,
You know?
we'll leave some to people, charities, whatever.
I'll even call
But I'm
you
like,
stepdad. Beth will be my stepmom. That might be weird, but
You're
you
gonna
know.
come over and mow the fucking lawn, then. That
Show-
lawn doesn't
here-
mow
here's the
itself,
thing.
son.
I'm not opposed to it. Just show me the bank balance first. I want to make sure this is a proper
It's
investment.
decent.
Okay.
It's decent. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, but it's kind of one of those things. Just don't think too far off. Like, if you're 25 now and you're like, oh, I gotta wait to 60, dude, you can't fathom that. It's so far
Oh yeah.
away.
I was actually having this conversation with a coworker who and I mean, more power to him. I don't have this in me, but like, he saves money like it's nobody's business, and he's 31. And he told me like how much money he has in his savings account, which is weird for a coworker to tell me. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but like I want to be able to like retire when I'm 65 and not worry about it. I was like, and first thing I was thinking, I was like, yeah, but what are you doing? For one, what are you doing in the meantime?
Yeah.
And then I was like, you said, I was like, what guarantees you're making it to 65? You're missing
Fucking,
out
you have
on
a, You have a
life.
stroke, you give it a heart attack, you don't know.
And also, only having that kind of money, I'm assuming it's a decent amount in a savings account. That's pretty fucking stupid. You need to diversify that shit a lot fucking better than in a motherfucking savings account.
Right? Yeah.
So,
All right,
yeah,
all right,
more things
Wu-Tang.
out there.
Charlie's Wu-Tanging it over here. You got to diversify your bonds. I won't say the last word,
Seriously
but
though, money is a tool, and you have to make it work.
Fuck yeah.
Make more of
100%.
itself. I literally learned that in my accounting class.
yeah,
That's it. That's how people get rich. They diversify. They spread
Diversify.
out their risk.
that's why I married a Latina.
And that's why you do more risky things
Same.
when you're younger, like he is, and then you do safer stuff when you're
Yeah,
older.
if I got,
Yeah.
like, I got time to make this money back. Yeah,
So I was told stocks now, and then do index funds, stuff like that.
And you
It's
roll into your bonds
less risk,
and
and,
those.
and
Yep.
then then you do bonds when you're older.
Mm. All right, we got to roll through these.
All right.
Child support when you have kids half the time. You already know who this is. Yeah, we know who that is.
We know who that is.
Yeah, we know who that is. Having to what happened? Oh, having to work while the kids enjoy summer break. Yeah, well,
Go be a teacher. Get the summer off.
true.
But don't get
Problem
paid
solved.
shit, though.
Teachers,
Hey, you
Teach-
want to do what you want to do, bro.
I
You
will
had them
say-
kids,
in
take your
North,
vacation.
my mom being an educator, a lifelong educator, which was very weird. Like I said, like this, I won't say it on air. What I saw her do over the weekend with my wife. That came out. People are getting the wrong idea about that, but whatever. We'll roll on.
They're friends. It's all good.
North Carolina teachers don't make shit. Don't go be a teacher. As much as I hate to say that, because I
You
have
get summers off. So if that's your question, if that's what you're looking for,
in Iowa, teachers make bank,
do they?
and the benefits are dope. My best friend's wife is a teacher in North Carolina still, and I'm like, move to Iowa. Like, it's insane. So, but
But they're in North Carolina and you're in Iowa, and Iowa doesn't exist. So
I know.
That's why they make so much.
I know. It's all play money. It's all
ghost
it's all
money.
Bitcoin.
Monopoly money.
It's Bitcoin. Greg, you'll get this one. Meetings that should be emails.
Fucking every day
Yeah.
of my life.
Yep.
Like
Me too.
5 out of the 10 a day that I go to.
I'm like, why are we here? You could have just sent
Or,
this out as an
like,
email.
Just Slack me. It's even better. Don't even email me anymore. Just Slack me, which is like a fucking text and I don't have to read. I can just click on it and be
Like an instant
oh, yeah.
message. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what a Slack is. Yep. Yeah, 100%.
Endless spam calls.
This time of year, all the politics shit, those texts.
Oh,
how do they even,
my thing is, so I put minor league studios on like Google, so I can get reviews and shit. And people can Google it. I get probably 25 calls a day from Google wanting me to pay to advertise on Google.
Holy balls.
And I block it.
I was gonna say, and it's just a different number, different
I
number.
block it,
different-
and it's all because I have an 828 number, which is Western North Carolina. They
Spoof
all
numbers.
come from Western North Carolina, and it's the next one up, next one up, next one up. I'm like,
It's just a spoofed number.
oh
They're
my
just-
god!
It's a robo dialer or whatever it is. It's fucked up.
I get this one. Other people's kids. Yep.
Yeah.
Not
I mean,
reading.
that's any kids for me sometimes. Like, I don't want to talk to you.
Womb. I'm not reading that one.
It was a little too racy.
It's essentially one word and it's a color.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And another word that's a religion.
Okay. We know who's doing this.
When Crime Corner is on the same time as Nooner Nation podcast. Well,
See, that
I
just
actually said that one too.
Jesse won't return my calls, so obviously we are a much more popular podcast. So I don't know why she can't just.
they're
move
only
out
on
the fuck-
Patreon, so
No, they're
or
public.
they move it to. Oh, did they? Okay. Oh, that's right. They just did
On the
their
YouTube.
RSS.
But apparently it's only like a 30-minute lapse, so
Yeah, come on, guys.
switch back and forth.
I have
You've been around
Charlie.
longer than your little shitty crime. Everybody does true crime.
I'll put on a mustache and I'll
Love
get like
you,
a voice
Jesse.
thing that makes my voice sound like Coop, and then
Let's pretend. Yeah.
being judged for still loving video games.
Oh no! Don't fucking be a kid. Like, if that's your gig, do it. Beth plays video games almost every day, maybe every other day. I got her a Nintendo Switch for Christmas, and she fucking fell in love with that.
Minecraft? Did you do Minecraft?
She's like all into all these old school Mario. They're new, but like Mario Brothers.
So our kids have Switches. We got them Minecraft because they were pretty young when we got them. We didn't want them like they had Mario and stuff, but Minecraft's literally just like a building game.
yeah,
Now half the time, like I'll text my wife and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Oh, just play Minecraft on Graham's Switch." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
it's awesome. If I didn't have like all this podcast studio, all this shit, this is like my nerding out.
No,
stuff.
this is your video
I would-
game, right?
This exactly. I would do that.
I love video. I play Grand Theft Auto any chance I
play
can.
it every
right?
once in a while, and yeah, and that's about it. You know,
I-
it's just
I finally got an HDMI connector for my Nintendo 64, and that's all I did Saturday.
you have a
was-
64
Zelda?
like the
I have two.
nice.
Did you play Zelda?
Nice.
I've never played Zelda. We never had it.
Ocarina of Time is the greatest video game ever made.
I remember that as a kid.
So that's what I was telling my man that last night because he's ordering me some more games so we can play them. And I requested the Army Men Sarge's Heroes.
Oh, I
That was
remember that
my
one.
shit. And I was like, "Do you
Nice.
ever play Zelda?" And he straight up said, "I'm not a fan."
No, Zelda was awesome. I remember it for the first Nintendo.
Yeah.
So
He Greg remembers
old as shit.
living
But I
Zelda.
fucking died when he said that.
But no, don't hate. Like I will say, there are people that maybe just like anything in life, right? Like
you can overdo it.
You can overdo it, right? But if you enjoy
Yeah,
doing
like,
it, do it. As
If
long
you
as it
have
doesn't affect
kids
your
and you're not helping
Right.
out with them, if you're
yeah. Babe,
not
I like
helping out the
me and my
house, like,
squad
that's-
on Call. I can't cook dinner. Me and my squad are about to finish this mission on Call of Duty. It's like
Fucking right.
it's like, dude, like, come on, man. But
Yeah, like there was actually parents I think that were arrested for neglect for like playing
Yeah.
too many hours of World of Warcraft or some
Right.
shit like that. But they looked like people that would be arrested for neglecting their
Right.
kids for playing.
Right.
You know
At
what I
that-
mean?
at that
it would be
point-
like
you're substituting a drug addiction for video game addiction, right?
exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Or don't do like what the Japanese kids do, where they just play for like 50 hours straight and they just sit there and drink your Mountain Dews and do
Yeah.
all that shit. And then they die of a heart attack at like fucking 18.
yeah, I
Like,
forgot
don't
what
do
it
that.
is. There's a name for in Japan. There's like a name for people like that isolate themselves and live
Yeah,
totally
just-
online.
Yeah.
So next one,
Good one.
having to keep half your mind focused on sexy time, but the other half on making sure your kids don't try to walk in. I know that feeling.
lock on your door, man.
I
Can't
do
you
lock the
fucking-
door. We do lock the door, but when you're in the middle of it and the next thing you know that door handle starts jiggling, you're like, fuck,
Distracted.
fuck.
You're at it.
You're out. You're out of rhythm. You know, the stroke
Can you
game
put-
goes.
Is there a way that you could put a door in the hallway so you have like double redundancy? So they have to knock on, or like put a ring doorbell.
I gotta buzz him in. I gotta buzz him in the
That's what
first
I'm
door.
saying, right?
I gotta buzz him in the first door.
Basically, you're having sex in a panic room at that
Yeah,
point.
I'm having sex in a pawn shop. I gotta
And-
Right,
buzz
that's
him in
fine.
the first door, and then buzz him in the second door once the first door shuts.
Exactly. I think that's the only way. Or put your kids in a kennel.
Yeah,
They have
just-
really nice kennels
just
now.
do what I do. Just give them so much NyQuil, they're not waking up.
There you
You
go.
can just lock their doors from the outside.
From the
Just asleep
outside.
inside.
Yeah. Repressing painful memories only to have them resurface, like being molested by a rollerblading mime in Germany, then being judged by your peers. For a second, I thought this was going to get really dark, but somebody's just fucking with me.
It's kind of. I mean, if that was
If that
actually a
really
thing, that's
happened, if
kind of
that
dark.
really happened, I'm sorry, and that is very
Like,
dark.
You just need to push all that shit back down in. Like you don't want
A
to even resurface any of that.
rollerblading mime.
Yeah.
Somehow he pulls that rope, and the skates just go with it.
That's a good one.
Waking the fuck up at the ass crack morning every goddamn day.
That goes back to you, Charlie.
It's just why? Why?
I don't fuck that. That it depends on your job, whatever, right? I don't know.
Yes.
I'm lucky. I'm a privileged white guy that I don't know if the white part has anything to do with it or but I wake up at like 8:00 every day.
God, I wish I could.
I don't have kids either.
So here's the thing. It's not even the kids anymore. So my wife runs a daycare. She doesn't have to be there until like 8:39, but it opens at 6:30. So
Somebody's got to be there.
she has to have her phone, like if parents are texting and stuff, like she has her phone go. So like 6:30 on the dot. Like it's on vibrate, but I still hear it. Wah, wah.
What are they calling about?
Dude,
Billy's not going to be there today.
parents be
Who
needy.
gives a shit?
Parents be needy as fuck. Who knows, you know?
Like he's got a peanut allergy today.
I'm gonna say this
Today.
one. I'm gonna say this one because it has to be from the same person that sent the other two that I ignored. Was can't have slaves anymore. If that's your adult problems, then your childhood was a long fucking time ago, and you're a vampire.
You know, there are more slaves in the world now than there ever have been.
I was about to
in
say,
the
just
history
go
of
to a different
humanity.
country. You
Like,
know.
yeah.
Just head to South Africa,
Well,
bro.
yeah. Well, go to like Eastern China or Western.
Yeah, the Uyghurs.
Eastern. No, it'd be. I always get this fucked up. Whenever I get outside of my country, what's east
It's
and
the
west? It'd be
west.
Eastern China.
No, be Western. Bangkok's on the west or the east.
It would be
side.
Western China.
Western
You can go. You can get a whole camp of Uyghurs for $5, man.
Yep.
You know.
Saying.
Being abducted on a full moon by a stranger. Being abducted on a full moon by a strange, murderous.
Which?
I don't even know how to say that word. Mermaid creature that lives in the bottom of the Black Lake. I mean, is that an adult problem? Or is that just a problem?
That sounds like a book my wife would read.
It's
Like
an
the-
old Greg reference.
This word, there's strange, murderous.
Who
But-
put that fucking thing in there? I'm trying to think.
Hermaphrodite? Hermaphrodite?
Hermaphrodite? I don't even- is that even a word?
Hermaphrodite, maybe? Hermaphroditc.
Hermaphroditic. Like a hermaphrodite.
I don't know,
Hermaphroditic.
Hermaphroditic? I don't.
They've got a pussy and a dick.
Okay, like obviously
They got both of them. They just carry all their weapons with them.
Vagina. Yeah, it's an old
Yeah.
Greg thing because I was told my makeup, I look like old Greg's little sister.
Okay.
That's a fucking good one.
So, I mean, if anything from this, we realize, like, hey, some things being an adult sucks, but in reality, dude,
Fuck yeah.
just live your life, man.
Have fun. And have fun now.
Yeah.
Like, don't have too much fun where you end up driving off a cliff because you're
Yeah.
on like an 8-ball of Coke and like
Yeah.
a bottle of bourbon.
Yeah. Realize
But
you got
just
shit
take
to,
everything in
yeah.
moderation.
Yeah, realize you got shit to do in the morning.
Right.
You know, and have fun accordingly.
Pay your fucking child support.
You know, we're donors. They're not your kids. If they come out black, then, you know.
I don't know the rules, dude. I don't know
either.
kids that I'm aware of. So.
I don't know how this works.
I don't know. I just know that like the popo can come get you if you don't pay your bills. So.
Pay them child
Yeah.
support bills.
Or the state will just take it out of your bank account.
Oh yeah, I think that happens, right? They just like fuck you.
No,
They take it out of your taxes or.
They garnish your wages, which isn't as delicious as it sounds.
I would stop working. I swear
Probably
to fucking
would.
God.
I just go
if,
live on
like,
the
my
rails.
wages
Yeah.
started getting garnished for anything aside from all the fucking taxes we have to pay, which is another thing you have to get used to. Just fucking suck it up.
Yeah, suck it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, find the loopholes you can and just suck it up, you know?
Exactly. Absolutely.
Which is the beauty about the 50s and 60s, you know? If you had child support, just hop on a train and go to the next town. Nobody knows.
You don't have to wait until then. That's what my mom's ex-husband did, and that was in the 80s.
See, the problem is smartphones run around. Now everything's tracked.
I know.
right?
The
This
internet
little,
the
this
internet
little
ruined our opportunity to be drifters, you know?
goddamn Al Gore
I know. Al
creating the
Gore
internet.
ruined it.
fucker. I swear.
Do you know how many children still have contact with their fathers because of Al Gore? Fuck you, Al
He was
Gore.
just trying to go get milk for 20 years. Fuck
Yeah.
you, Al Gore.
You don't know. Fuck. That is a very specific style of cigarette he wanted, and it's going to take him
Right.
a while to
Those
get it.
Winstons weren't made in North Carolina. They were made somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm looking for
Across the country.
yeah, I'm looking for those cigarettes that were made in World War II. I got to go to France for a couple of years. You know. But anyways, fun show. Greg, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Always
Yes,
a blast.
thank you.
It's been awesome. Absolutely.
Always
It's
a
been fun.
blast, and if you ever need it, obviously we will return the favor.
For sure.
And yeah, this is the Nooner Nation. Again, like and subscribe on YouTube, rate and review on iTunes, like and subscribe, or leave a 5-star on Spotify. Also, Greg, shout out all your stuff.
Bar is open with Beth and Greg. We do that on Wednesdays and Fridays, so we'll be on tomorrow night. Castro Files, we'll be releasing some. We've just recorded a few more. We're trying to do those periodically. Kind of slowed them down a little bit, but those are going to be on like Sunday nights, Sunday afternoons, something like that. Balding the Big Guys, Friday mornings at around 8 o'clock. So we try and get that morning drive thing. So we'll have one coming back out in a week or so. Peter, my co-host on that one, had to take a week off to go film some other stuff. So
Yeah, well,
Appreciate it.
we know
Past
all about
episode.
that. That's where our co-host
that?
is at.
where's
I'm
that?
saying that Gary Faust episode sounded wild.
Dude, he's crazy as shit, by the way. So
Yeah,
Imagine.
he's good, man. He's good. It was crazy. It was crazy.
awesome.
Yeah, that dude definitely seems like something else.
So, anyways, as always, for Charlie, for Greg, I am Bill. This has been the Nooner Nation. Love you all. Good night.